unregularradio.com. Welcome to Hotheads, where activism happens, live on unregularradio.com. This is Mike Han. Changes this week on the show. Just wanted to start off with that. Heather Mack is taking a leave from the show. It's sometimes commitment issues are really tough. I've actually had the same issues myself. You know, it's really hard to do a show every Saturday.
2 hours.
2 hours, and especially when you're as young and as popular as Heather Mack is with her music and all the friends that she has and all the other activities that she has in her life. So we're doing a new thing this week, trying some new things out, and it's going to be a little bit of a change in the show, but it's the same show. It's still going to be the two Hotheads where activism happens. It's going to be the same activism you hear every week, and we love Heather, and we're missing Heather, and Heather's out doing her thing with her friends today, and we'll definitely hear from Heather again. So the exciting news today is what we have on the show. Who's in here? Who's coming in? So why don't we get to that news first, and then we'll get to the segment that we're going to call the news that we're going to open up with every week from now on with Casey, the management, Hoye, from Unregular Radio. We're going to be doing a new segment with her every single week, hopefully. We're trying this out today. Let us know if you like it, and also send stories to Casey, because she's going to be running the news stories every week at the top of the hour, at the top of our show at 3:30 every single week from now on. Say hello, Casey.
How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Are you excited?
I am. I'm stoked.
Should we give away the other news, like on what's the next segment after your segment, or what should we wait? How do you think we should handle this?
I think it should be a surprise.
A surprise. Okay.
It is a big surprise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
people don't know. Like,
they don't know. Nobody knows.
We haven't been talking about it. Like even privately with our friends, it's kind of been
like hush hush.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we should build it up.
Heather and I had I gotta say more about Heather, because Heather and I had a good run. I mean, we've been working together over a year now. The shows that we did, the guests that we had, the way that we got some big shoes to fill here.
Yep. But those are some landmark shows.
Yeah. But at the same time, I feel like we can. It's funny, and Heather knew that too. Heather was even recommending the people you're going to hear on the show today. So Casey, welcome. I'm so excited to do this today, especially today, because we just going over the news stories, and just, you and a lot of the folks here have helped me get into some of these news stories and to some of this activism outside of what I was accustomed to, which was the marijuana movement. And so I'm really excited about what we're going to be doing today.
Yeah, I'm really stoked to the information sharing aspect of it, because I know you come from it from almost a legislative perspective, like what's going on in the courts, what's going on in the state house,
real world.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of my, I come from sort of a rumor mill situation, so that meeting in the middle of opinion and legislation is very interesting.
And that's the thing, and I love the what you just said too, the rumor mill, the public talk, because I love that too.
What's the word on the street?
Yeah, I mean, I think the best activists can bridge a few different areas, both real world, online, on the street, and in the places of power. You have to know what they're all saying.
It's all theater,
most of it,
and you have to embrace all forms of that theater. And if you want to make change, you have to it ranges, you know what I mean? You have to lobby on the State House steps. You have to be in there talking. You have to talk to lawyers. You have to talk to your representatives. You have to, and maybe if things get to it, you have to break some windows. But change takes time, and it's painful.
I like what they did in Iceland. Or sometimes you have to. I think this is what we need to do.
Throw some rotten fruit.
Rotten fruit and pots and pans. I want to talk much more about Iceland. I don't know how. There's so many stories, so many things happening in this world right now that we've missed a lot for a while.
And Iceland's a very contentious subject.
I know.
People will say there's this whole shiny sort of sheen over Iceland that says oh yeah, they did their whole people's legislation and all this other stuff, but there's a divisiveness in it that says that a lot of people feel like they weren't heard. So, I mean, I'll look up some stories for next week, and we can see both sides of that story.
Yeah, definitely. because there's so many stories that aren't being covered or being paid attention to, and that's what we do. That's what I love about the 2 hours every week. It allows me to get into the people that we bring in. I learn so much, and we build every week. I watch it in this room. So why don't we get to some of the guests?
Wait, sorry,
we'll give a quick bumper on what we're going to do on the show today.
Oh, gotcha.
And then the news.
Oh, gotcha.
All right.
I thought you were trying to get rid of me.
No, just getting started. So basically today we're going to be focusing very much on, what was the
opangel
number
3.
Yeah, opangel in Boston. This is for Aaron Swartz, and for I think all the political. I'm gonna speak for the anonymous idea, the people that are coming out in Boston, because I think that everyone would agree that we're speaking for all the political prisoners that want to release information. The people like Barrett Brown, who's in jail, like Hammond, who's at Free Hammond. There's a lot of them. I don't know them all, but there's a war on people, and we're seeing it in all forms of activism. And someone like Aaron Swartz, man, I just I can't even believe I didn't know about any of this. Yeah. How did I mean, I'm supposed to be all attuned. I had no clue.
Well, there's I think with the Barrett Brown trial going on, there's this sort of scary blanket that was thrown over hackers and hacktivism and all of these other things. And I don't think the media knew how to spin Aaron Swartz's trial.
Yeah, and that copyright downloading thing. It's just it's gotten way out of control from Napster to Aaron Swartz.
Well, because it's very easy to demonize what Barrett Brown did.
Yeah, and even Aaron.
But I mean, think about it. He just wanted to free some academic papers. You know what I mean? Granted, it was 4.8 million.
People are so stupid; they don't even know why he wanted to do that. They think he was trying to steal from them money. It's no, he wanted to friggin' create more money for everyone. J-Stor would have made more money. J-Stor released the papers. They agreed with him.
Yeah,
it was friggin' MIT and the Massachusetts Attorney's Office for the United States Mass Office, U.S. Attorney's Office, Carmen Ortiz.
Yeah.
So why don't we're going to have some guests on the show related to what's going on this week in Boston and other cities about Aaron, and we're going to be speaking to one of his close personal friends who did a radio show with Aaron later on by phone. And we also have an in-studio guest related to the Boston action. So we're going to be speaking to some people. Let's get into that, because this is leading off on your new section this week, the news. What news stories do we have that we want to talk about?
So yesterday the DOJ briefed Congress on the Aaron Swartz prosecution. And I'll read the press release that went out. Justice Department officials gave a congressional briefing Friday afternoon on DOJ's handling of the case against Aaron Swartz. Steve Reich, an Associate Deputy Attorney General of the DOJ, is expected to brief House Oversight Committee staffers and potential members on Friday afternoon.
Wow.
Committee staffers are hoping to speak with the U.S. Attorney for the District of Massachusetts, Carmen Ortiz.
Wow.
Who had overseen the Swartz prosecution, or perhaps the criminal chief from her office or another supervisor from that office. Reich is the same DOJ official who briefed members on the committee of the gun tracing program known as Fast and Furious. Rep. Darrell, Issa, and Rep. Elijah Cummings, the leading Republican and Democrat on the House Oversight Committee, are running a joint investigation into the Swartz prosecution.
I've got some of their videos on my MyCan YouTube, if you notice, on Fast and Furious. Those guys, Darrell, Issa. And you know who else should get props this week, too, related to this whole issue? They had a memorial for Aaron Swartz in D.C., and there were some elected officials from Congress and Senate there, and I was very proud and happy. I've bashed Elizabeth Warren privately and publicly. Elizabeth Warren was there. Elizabeth Warren's made statements about this. Darrell, Issa
made a really poignant statement.
So we have Republicans, the best Republicans and the best Democrats in a lot of ways.
Darrell, Issa actually praised Aaron Swartz at the Internet Freedom Aaron Swartz at the memorial in D.C. One of the staunchest Republicans in Congress, House Oversight Committee Chairman Darrell Issa, attended a Capitol Hill memorial on Monday for progressive activist Aaron Swartz, praising the fallen internet icon's political courage and saying he has common ground with much of Swartz's legacy. He and I probably would have found ourselves at odds with a lot of decisions, but never on the question of whether information was in fact a human right, Issa said at the memorial.
Wow. So, I mean, it seems like there's some progress.
Yeah.
What, like, because we've been saying this is like an unwinnable win in the whole technology on what's going on with this government surveillance state, this passive thing that they're placing on all of us, and the information sharing. We can't share information, like, you know, just the control, the amount of stifling. This, like, I'm wondering, will this go anywhere? Like, so they're going to bring Carmen Ortiz in. She's making statements. What is she saying? Is that in the next news story too? I think.
Yeah, she actually released a statement about Aaron Swartz. As a parent and a sister, I can only imagine the pain felt by the family and friends of Aaron Swartz, and I want to extend my heartfelt sympathy to everyone who knew and loved this young man. I know that there is little I can say to abate the anger felt by those who believe the office's prosecution of Mr. Swartz was unwarranted and somehow led to the tragic result of him taking his own life. I believe that Aaron's death was not... that was actually a different news article, but she also...
she said that?
She followed it up by saying the conduct of her office was appropriate in bringing and handling the charges.
Well, that's bullshit. You know, how can you make those statements and then make that lie? It's like this whole disconnect with some of these people. It's like... Good, you said that. Well, go make a public statement on Barrett Brown and Hammond and some of these other people who are in jail for very similar reasons, posting links to information.
Yeah.
Barrett Brown was a spokesperson. He was a reporter. He was a journalist. You know, Barrett Brown was a journalist. He posted link information, and now he's looking at how many years?
It's like up to 100 years.
Yeah,
I think is what they said. And the crazy thing about the whole Barrett Brown situation is it escalated. It escalated ridiculously. And like after the Stratfor leak happened, he posts the link. I think like 3 separate counts were brought up against him for threatening an FBI agent. An additional 9 counts were brought up against him for the information in the leak, which he was not responsible for. And a lot of those that were brought up against him had to do with the credit card fraud charges that were resulting from this. So by not participating in the action, by posting the link to it, he was found responsible for the actions after
of other people
who
were FBI agents.
Yeah,
snitches.
The whole there's a great Dallas Observer
and
article.
he was the one who said not to do it.
Yeah,
like he told them not to post credit card information. He was totally against that. He didn't want any of that. Barrett Brown was about getting the information about how the government is secretly working with private corporations to publicly spy on you and facial recognition you everywhere you go in public, to record your voice. It's called wiretapping.
Yeah.
You know, without a warrant. And everybody. Put it in a computer so that they can bring it up anytime they ever have any issue with you.
Yep.
And bring up anything that you did over the last 10 years. That's what this is about.
This is particularly poignant here in Massachusetts because we have 4 separate bills coming up brought by the ACLU dealing with wiretapping in particular and how you would get a warrant and how all-inclusive those warrants would be. Because right now we've got a horse and buggy on the interstate with technology laws.
Yeah, and the rules on the government. There's all the rules on us, but no rules on the government. Exactly. The wiretapping thing I'm talking about, these databases. Let's say they can record 20 years. How long do they keep it?
Yeah, what's the statute of limitations?
Who gets to see it?
Yep.
Who gets to republish it? Do you know what I mean?
Who owns it afterwards? Is this information leased?
Yeah.
Is it because if you have a private organization gathering information for the government, where does that information go afterwards?
Absolutely. And who gets to see it? Is it passed on to every law enforcement thing in the country? Or all the private data, internet groups that sell your information online, is it given to them?
Yeah. It's kind of ridiculous because it's if it is made public to all of them and it's part of an active investigation under the Freedom of Information Act, eventually that all of your information will be free to everyone.
Yeah.
It's this crazy, weird, fucked up loophole.
Unless you probably pay to not get covered.
Yeah, right.
You pay them off. You only the billionaires. You can't trace them.
Right.
Because they own those companies.
Well, because that wouldn't be safe. That'd be terrorism. They're responsible for a lot of things.
Yep. And our cameraman, Scotty Hacker, just walked in. I'm going to say hi to him.
Hi, Scotty.
We love having him in here. What's up, Scotty?
Hi!
That's Scotty. He's a little crazy. Wow, so we're getting into it.
Yeah.
We have more news stories, too, don't we?
Yeah, there's a little bit about what's going on with Mass Medical. I think Stoughton is moving to block dispensaries.
Really?
Yeah, I would check that out at Wicked Local. I'm not gonna read the story because it gets into it, but like Stoughton says we didn't vote for it,
but they did.
Well, no, I mean the town of Stoughton in particular had like that particular town did not want it to go through, so they're going off of like their district vote and saying we didn't vote for it, so we don't want medical marijuana dispensaries. They're trying to push their zoning law.
Wow.
But the Globe actually released a great article on medical marijuana. It says the wide range of concerns voiced at mass hearing on medical marijuana.
Yeah, I was just looking for my camera. I'm like preoccupied right now. Scotty's got me going crazy. But so, anyways, the Globe story.
Yeah.
Speaking of being preoccupied, they're talking about the DPH hearing, right?
Yep.
And there was some things in there about people who testified.
Yep.
Who Mass Medical? What is their big issue? The Mass Medical Society.
Let's see. I know I got to catch up. You're asking specific questions.
I know I am.
I had the State House News Service thing all ready to roll.
Oh, all right. You want to hit that first?
Shit.
I hit too many dabs earlier.
Right. So the DPH hears a string of concerns about medical marijuana ballot law, and this is via the State House News Service. While it plans to provide detailed testimony during upcoming regulatory hearings, the trade group that represents doctors in Massachusetts raised up a host of questions Thursday before state officials at a listening session regarding the state's new medical marijuana law. Among the concerns raised by the 2,400-member Massachusetts Medical Society that patient certifications under the law become a part of the state's prescription monitoring program. The regulations take into account implications of the medical marijuana used on occupational health and safety, and the language of the 2012 ballot law regarding certification and of debilitating medical conditions is overly broad.
Yeah.
So
they're already trying to fuck it up.
They're already trying to narrow it down. Well, right now it's the wild, wild east. You know what I mean?
No, it's not.
There's no regulations like the DPH.
Who gives a shit? It's fucking seriously. We're talking about growing plants. Come on, like people,
you're right.
People
it's
have
flowers.
cancer. Any regulation you add is going to increase the price.
Well, they're trying to model it after the laws in New Mexico because the laws in New Mexico are like seed to flower, like very strict and stringent. So the DPH wants to push the deadline past. I think they're going to miss their deadline.
Oh, they definitely are.
Like they want to push the deadline past so that they can model it after these New Mexico restrictions.
Great.
So,
am I going to be able to use it for my back pain?
I don't think that they're going to allow back pain unless you have like some kind of medical condition that makes it so that you can't take painkillers.
Fuck them. They're going to kill my can. Fuck you.
Well,
Sorry.
I mean, what's worse
I've
for
been
you?
dealing with this pain for 16 years. I should have a fucking card at least.
I gotta ask, like, what's worse for you? 16 years of opiate use or 16 years of cannabis use?
Oh man,
what's going to be harder on your body?
It's not even a choice. I did it for like friggin' 2 months versus 15, 16 years now. So, and I'm feeling good. I work. I have a ball. Like my back is screwed. Like I talk about it a lot, but it is bad.
Yeah.
And I wait tables.
Yeah.
Like I'm crazy. I wrestle on concrete. Like literally, I have wrestled on concrete. Like that's what you know what I mean? Like I can do it. So, but I need the weed. That's what does it. Like
I just think they want to push back the dispensary date.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen on May 1st.
I mean, that's going to take a while.
Yeah.
We all know that. But I'm wondering, like, they're talking about medibles. Did you see that? Mass Medical in that article, on one of those articles, said they really did not want to let medibles happen.
I don't blame them. I don't like the idea of medibles.
That's crazy. What do you mean?
I mean, because it's like you can take tinctures, you can vaporize, you can smoke it. You can imbibe it in other ways. To put it into a candy or to put it into a cake or a cookie, you're taking it out of the realms of a drug, and that's what medical marijuana is. You're calling it a drug.
It's not, and it's really an herb.
Then
and it's
that
really
need, then
garlic,
that
but
that,
it's also,
that needs to be reflected in the
but
law.
it's also a pain reliever. It's
But
like
they're not saying
there's
it's-
certain things like turmeric is another one that's very similar, and it should be labeled just as an herb basically. But like turmeric, you can have some like almost get a little bit high from it, and it has pain relief, especially for my back situation. Like turmeric and cannabis. Turmeric's a food.
Yeah.
Like I eat it. Like there are medicines out there that are already.
But that's
even
not how the bill was pitched.
I
They're
know,
saying
I know,
medical
I
marijuana.
understand that,
It
but
wasn't. It didn't come
it
in
just-
as a civil liberties
it just-
issue. It came in as a medicine issue.
Just the whole fact that you can't outlaw. Like you're going to allow me to grow medical marijuana or buy medical marijuana. You don't think I'm going to turn around then if it's not illegal and go make brownies myself? Like, wouldn't you rather regulate it, especially when it's for sale?
I don't know,
Because-
man. Like, I'm just saying, like, within the law that they want to pass, that they want to put through here in Massachusetts, if they go the Albuquerque route, and if they go really strict, like if they go the New Mexico route, then you're not going to see.
Does New Mexico not allow medibles?
I don't believe they do.
That's crazy. I'm a medical patient, and that's just bullshit because medibles are the best.
Well,
Like,
even
they're
the
safest.
Even
Like,
the name Medibles is a terrible branding for
whatever you
for
wanna
like the
call
right
it.
wing side.
Call it edible cannabis. I don't care. It's like for some MS patients, like they literally eat the marijuana. They eat it. Some of them eat it raw and juice it. Like they need so much for the MS.
Yeah.
Like it's to cook with it sometimes is the easiest way. Do you really want to have someone sitting around vaporizing all day or even smoking it all day when you could have them just eat it and eat it once and it will last for like 6 to 8 hours and it'll be like for a
Yeah, but
long
they have
time-
the THC caplet. They have tinctures that you can eat. They have tinctures that are high yield that you can put into drinks.
Yeah, but I don't like
I mean,
them as much.
exactly. It's what you want. Like, I mean, if
Yeah.
you put it on your cereal and
it's
eat it
also
with your
about
Raisin
eating.
Bran.
It's also about eating. Like it's just like if it's in a pill form, I don't like to take that shit. Like even if it's cannabis, I wouldn't want to take it. I don't know. It's just psychological for a patient that's really sick. It is such healing wonders, and just handing someone a fucking brownie, especially someone that wouldn't normally use marijuana, like someone that's dying of cancer, like like there are people out there that won't because it's illegal.
Yeah.
You give them a brownie and they try it and it works. It's
Well,
not a pill. It's not a tincture.
I mean,
Like,
we're talking about the paradigm shift. You know what I mean? Is like how do we shift the mental paradigm over to making this acceptable? Like if that's what the movement is pushing
that's what
for.
I'm saying. That's
like,
exactly what we're doing.
Then
it's
the
so
shift-
acceptable. Everybody's had experience with pop brownies. What's the worst that's going to happen? Some kids are going to cry, and the principal is going to get caught, and the police are going to come in, and they're going to arrest some stupid kid for making pop brownies. That's the fucking story about pop brownies. Kids can fall asleep and sometimes freak out for like a half hour until you throw some hot, cold water on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's the worst that's going to happen. Can we get over it? I mean, this is about patience, and I want my brownies.
I'm just
gonna
saying
get my brownies
with the
no matter
direction
what.
that it's going in.
I'm getting my
and,
cookies.
And like with people who are in the zoning commission, people in the DPH, and people who are like actually working this out. Like I went to the zoning commission meeting,
Yeah.
and they were like very adamant about where they want these things and where they don't want these things, and exactly what these dispensaries are going to be putting out there. So the whole situation comes down to like the public's perception of what is going to be at these dispensaries and how things are going to be like distributed, because like they don't want it to be a drug state. That's they're saying like, they don't want to give
Yeah,
illicit
they're a bunch
drugs to
of-
children.
Basically, it's the same old shit we've been dealing with forever.
It's a
bunch
Puritan
of-
state.
A bunch of rats.
It's
you
just
know,
it's
they-
the puritanical perception.
Yep. And we're not going to stand for it. I'm not standing for it. Like seriously, we need to start hammering.
Get pissed,
them.
Mike.
Especially on
Get
the
pissed.
medibles. On medibles, I'm going to start bringing patients in here. That's what we got to do.
I think
Back to our fucking patients.
I think that if you can show the
Buddha.
that side of it and show a patient who's like, listen,
I can
like,
show fucking hundreds of them. If I can get Marcy, I mean, so the problem a lot of times with patients is they're freaking sick and they have no money.
yeah,
Like seriously, the worst ones. Like I know.
those medical bills will drain you down.
Yeah, it's hard to work. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, man, a lot of stories. We had some more too. I mean, I think we could throw in another one if we have time. We said maybe not, but this might be an extra bonus.
Extra bonus shit. Well, the other thing that I wanted to where the shit is that? Got a pile of things. So many papers. Wicked Local, or actually no, MassLive.com. The State Department of Public Health may miss the May 1st deadline on issuing regulations for the use of medical marijuana, meaning a possible delay in making the drug available at dispensaries. Medical marijuana in Massachusetts became legal January 1st, blah, 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 blah. This is the list of hearings. That's the important part. This is how you, the public, can get involved. The final 3 hearings will be held 1:30 to 4:30 on February 27th at the Kitteridge Business Center at Holyoke Community College. The first meeting will be from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Wednesday in the Worcester Public Library. The second hearing will be from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Thursday at Roxbury Community College in Boston.
That just didn't the so they're doing another meeting at Roxbury?
They're doing a series of 3 meetings.
Oh, cool. So I might be able to go to some of those meetings now.
But all 3 of those are going to be held on February 27th.
Okay.
So
which was what day? Do you know? Does it say?
27th is Wednesday.
Oh, shit. I never can go. I'm always working.
We're just going to have to go somebody who have somebody go who takes notes well. There we go.
Yeah. I mean, there's reporters. We get the stories.
Or videotape it.
Yeah.
Scotty?
I just want to speak. I want to get up there and fucking blast these assholes on the medibles. You know?
Yep.
This is bullshit. We want what we voted for. We don't want over-regulation, whatever you're talking about in New Mexico. We want what we voted for. We are the number 1 marijuana state in the country. We have the more cannabis consumers, and we know medicine, like, you know, and a lot of people are using it as medicine. So.
Well, in a state full of doctors and lawyers, I'm surprised this didn't get worked out earlier.
Oh, man. They're all a bunch of idiots. That's
but
it.
I mean, the May 1st deadline is an internal deadline set by the DPH. According to the law, they have until the end of the year to sort it out.
Yeah. So there was more stuff on Barrett Brown too, right? He was in Vice recently.
Yep. He was found legally competent to stand trial, and that was actually a pretty good article in the Dallas Observer. Goes over a little bit of the court transcript and how he acted slightly nutty with the judge, and then they basically decided that he was okay. They're just like, oh, you're up for, what was it, 12 counts of being an asshole.
Oh,
but
and they wonder why Aaron, Aaron Swartz, why he hung himself. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, when you're up against, he was up for 31 years.
Yeah. Yep. I was listening to, or was I reading? I'm not sure now at this point, but I contacted Aaron's girlfriend to see if she would come on the show.
Oh man, her open letter was just incredible. Yeah, it was so poignant. I actually have it here.
It's just amazing. And she had said that when she was in front of they were at court, and he didn't talk much about what was going on to her, but he did. You know, she was there for the most important parts. You could tell, and it's basically when he was in court in front of, I think it was Hammond. Is he like the assistant attorney, attorney from U.S. government in Massachusetts? He was standing there, and Aaron didn't want to hug Taryn because he didn't want her or to get a kiss from her because he didn't want that guy to see her.
Yep.
And it makes you wonder why, and it's like I instantly knew why. Do you know what I mean? Do you think why? It's because this guy is a predator. You don't show your girl in front of a predator. Like, these people that prosecuted Aaron, they can say this now, but where are they? Like, where are they for the other people who are being victimized, just like Aaron was?
Yeah.
And where are they in these laws that we want to pass? You know?
She actually said some pretty poignant. She has a Tumblr account, which is actually linked to a lot of the different news articles that have been coming out. But her final kind of refrain was, ask yourself this: if on January 10th, Steve Hammond and Carmen Ortiz at the Massachusetts U.S. Attorney's Office had called Aaron's lawyer and said that they'd realized their mistake and they were dropping all charges, or even for that matter that they were ready to offer a reasonable plea deal that wouldn't have marked Aaron as a felon for the rest of his life, would Aaron have killed himself on January 11th? The answer is unquestionably no. Exactly.
So that's what we're doing today. That's the news. A lot of news. We just scratching the surface too. We actually had another story in the Phoenix. We got to give a big shout out to Valerie Vanderpan, the Duchess. Where is that? I just looked at
Vanda Pan.
Yeah.
I want to rhyme that with panda, but it doesn't work.
What is it?
Vanda Panda. I just want to
about-
color that in the back of my head for some reason.
That works.
Vanda Panda?
I don't know. I don't want to get in trouble with Valerie, though.
Okay, just blame it on me.
Yeah, we'll blame it on you. You guys can work that out. I know you will. She wrote this. She's got this column in the Phoenix every 2 weeks. It's got a burning question. Email to Valerie at ValerieVandepan.com or tweet it to at AskTheDuchess on Twitter, which I'm on. You see me linking up with her. She's got a story about got a connection about caregivers, how to find one, and I'm quoted. Mike Can. 2 Hotheads, where activism happens on regular radio. We're in that story. Nice story. This Phoenix looks really nice now.
It's very shiny.
Yeah. So we're in there too. Check that out. What else are we? So we should probably take a break. We've gone long, opening up today. haven't
Oh,
we?
jeepers. We have.
Yeah, we filled it up. So I think what we're gonna do is take a break. We're going to come back with some big news of what's happening on the show. We're going to have some live guests, and we're going to do a big phone call. And hopefully we'll take some of your calls. And new phone number, 617-606-3700. Call in. Let's hear some music from Rob. Rob's here. What's going on, Rob?
Hey, folks.
Hey, folks. This is, your shit is just blowing up on the YouTubes.
Is it?
Facebooks. I think so.
The Facebooks?
Yeah.
I think that Jay Severin guitar line piece is just fucking inspiring,
Unbelievable.
dude.
Can we listen to that? Do you mind? Like, that was the other question I had this week as we're bringing you in here. Can we steal some of your shit sometimes? Like, I want to listen to that. We got to, can you do that for us?
Yeah. Sure.
All right, we're going to go out with...
I can't do it right now. I don't have the song.
Oh, you don't have the song?
No.
Oh.
It's not in the system.
Oh. We'll do it next time.
Okay.
But we're going to have to do that soon. Shit's amazing. So why don't we hear some music?
Okay.
Uncensored, unregulated radio.